Hello, boys and girls. My name is Yoshi1907 here. 1907 here. Jeez, I forgot my number. What that? Anyway. Welcome back to my 100% now blind playthrough of Pokémon Legends Z-A for Nintendo Switch 2. And in the last video, we left off doing a mix of main storyline and side missions. But there's some new side missions want me to do. Hotel Z, Loot Top, and stuff. But that's because I'll just go to here. It's easier to look at this way. Oh, I didn't know that they have to check news by doing this. Oh, so this is different. So this is all the different missions that we have, potentially. Actually, we can get this. Okay, this is different. Well, there's one new mystery gift we haven't picked up yet. Meet the conditions to find a pocket of hyperspace where you can chain a Garchomp Z stone, huh? So never a different Z stone got added. Keep in mind, I'm not necessarily going to focus too hard on the DLC. There might actually be nothing right now, but that's only because we have other stuff to do. Oh yeah, but long story short though, as you might have guessed, this extra mission, this is part of the DLC. I did some of the DLC buying. In fact, I actually bought the DLC off camera like I said I would. So now we have that. So we have a bunch of other stuff to do. I also found out Z-A Royale does have an additional secret. So you might actually see a big grind soon. Because we got Xerneas, but not the Z-A Royale. There isn't actually anything else to do as a result. Other than the single Aurorus, there's not really anything else to do now. And speaking of which, I know I have that Pikachu that was special to me, that I want to have in the party all the time, but that was just a delay, honestly. Because honestly, you guys know that we built a Raichu since pretty much the start of the game, and we're going to bring it back because now we need it. Because pretty soon we'll be moving into the DLC. Once Raichu gets that, he'll be able to get his hands on his special ball as well. But for now, I guess we could give him a light ball just like Pikachu had originally. So yeah, long story short, if you're wondering why we're talking about this, well, in the last episode we did a very particularly tough challenge, not unlike any of the other ones we've done up to this point. It was very trolly and took a long time. Basically, we ended up having to use Dig, a move we didn't really use too often on Pikachu otherwise, just to get through this Pikachu, because he also had Dig. Some trick I forgot to mention is, if you just wait for them to dig, then you can always dig after them, and you'll always hit first. So that's actually the trick you're supposed to use. But of course, I don't often play with those moves, so because of that, I don't know about it. Okay, I wanted to put this in the satchel, please. Thank you. Now I'm gonna give you an item to hold. So yeah, I want to transfer this over to Raichu, and since he's a little bit behind, I guess we can give him some experience, but I think I want to give most of it to Amora next, because as you have guessed, we need an Amora in our party next. And since I don't really have time to train him, nor do I really need to, because there's like a strategy for this one too, we're just going to get a lucky egg on him so he trains a little bit faster. Where is that light? Oh, there it is. So that's really good for Raichu. So now Raichu will have better fun that trick moves. And later on, we'll evolve it into the new Mega Raichu whenever we get to the DLC, but as you can see, there really is nothing left, and that's because, we have to get our DLC stuff done first, unfortunately. So from here on out, you can consider this playthrough a little bit in and outs. You can consider this maybe even a start of the DLC, because yes, we did buy the DLC, and I want to start that as well, so let's do that. A bean that gives, and a bean that takes. Oh, wait. We get this first instead. I forgot about this. Yeah, right, we did get both beans that give and take. I just didn't know that this is where we go. Both actions are vital to maintain balance, but in excess, either could destroy it. My memories remain vague and distinct, yet there is one thing I know. Long ago, I tried to give it too much, but my good deeds saw no reward. I wallowed in despair, meant I decided to take everything for myself instead. Then came Zygarde, a being that seems to correct excess, to find moderation, to restore balance. Only imagine that is why it would save me, the one who fired the ultimate weapon. Now I must ask something of you. Battle me so I can see who you truly are as a trainer. Oh boy. You're already wanting to battle. We already got someone who wants to battle, folks. I'm not going to change my Pokemon. We're just gonna do it now. Prepared to battle me? Yes, I am. I once believed that victory was the only mean to be found from battle, but I'm certain I will enjoy battling you. After our battling him since X and Y, it feels good to battle the Sundre again. And he's gonna have a remix, I bet, of his original theme for X and Y too, which is cool. That's what it's sounding like so far. Okay, I think you're dark, right? We can try doing this then. We'll switch you out so you don't have that stat reduction. Oh, okay, Excadrill can handle this, dude, with Iron Head. Our Pokemon are pretty well trained, so they're probably gonna destroy everyone here. This one, there's not really a good move to use, so we can just use whatever. That's confusing. Hey, let's switch out Excadrill so he doesn't take that. That's one thing I remember, by the way. You switch out, you automatically stop confusion. I've used to have to use that a lot, because confusion is the single most annoying status in this whole game, sometimes, more often than not. I'm gonna Mega Evolve Gyarados and see where this takes me. If we did evolve at the right time, it's fine. Since they're already powerful, I'm not sure if we want items or not. Though he's also a lot stronger than I suspected. We'll just keep going fast then. Ooh. Okay. Ooh, we both have a Mega Gyarados somehow? Okay, we got one on mirror match here then. Look at how we cooperate, human and Pokemon. Perhaps there is a beauty to this world. Okay, Ice Fang's probably not great against you, so we're gonna try Dragon Rush Ice Fang instead. Because I think you're Water Dragon if I'm wrong. I'd be trying to remember what exactly he is. No, he has Earthquake. Unexpected. Did not expect him to have Earthquake. Well, that means he'll be weak to this. Jeez, he's too fast for me. He's already taken out 2 of my Pokemon. He might be stronger than I suspected. Of course, we didn't really expect them to be this strong. To be fair, we have 81, and for some reason he brought all of his hard hitters here. Jeez. Whatever this Gyarados is, it's well built because it has literally every move to super affect all of our team. Well, this is our first legit loss in a while, and it's only because we weren't ready for it. We weren't expecting him to just one-hit everyone out of nowhere. Well, we're immediately redoing that. That was not fair at all. He just came out of nowhere and beat us. And after we did everything we could... Yeah, of course we want to, but we're gonna wait on our Gyarados this time, because clearly that didn't work. We needed to wait a bit. I know Gyarados can do this, I just didn't expect him to destroy half of our team with it. Alright, Missandre, you jerkface, let me go for round 2. Hopefully this time we survive. Might honestly be better to, after a while, let Amora die on purpose. I'm still determined to not use items, and you know one thing about losing that's good? You get to grind up your Pokemon by you doing that, because you still keep your experience from when you did lose, so you can just keep trying over and over again. As long as you defeat a good, strong amount of Pokemon, you keep getting a good amount of experience, so by the end you'll get really strong, and you'll be able to eventually just straight up take them out later. Okay. This time I'm just gonna run it with Excadrill. I had to switch out before because he was confused before, but not anymore. Alright, we'll have to purposely get taken out here, I think, at some point. But not right now. We're gonna use Rock Slide here. And I guess Iron Head next. We have Drill One actually too as well. We could probably use that and get a quick hit in too. How can we cooperate? Yeah. Perhaps there's beauty to this world. Not if you take out all of my team though. Honestly, that Gyarados was nasty. It was hard to counter. It had so many different moves. Pretty much everything we had got super affected in one way or another. And he's still too fast for us too. He must have been built with speed or something, because he's really destroying us. Alright, well, only one way to counter this. Use our own Gyarados and hope we can beat him faster. But yeah, he pretty much has everything. I think part of the problem, though, is we straight up were weaker from before. For proper timing, we could probably beat him. It was just... we weren't ready for him, and that's why he just kept on one-shotting all of our teammates. I didn't expect this late of an opponent to do that, but... alright, well, better management allowed us to win. Been a while since we've lost anything. To be fair, it's the end game, so it's supposed to be harder, but man, that shocked me a bit. Excellent. I can feel the fire of your convictions burning deep within your heart. Yeah, well, I hope you're feeling nasty, because you just lost, mister. This is why we battle, to reach understanding, trainer to trainer, trainer to Pokemon, and Pokemon to Pokemon. I suppose that is why AZ like you wished for the Z-A Royale to resume. 5 years ago, a group of children stood against me in defiance. If I tried to understand them, perhaps I would have never fired the ultimate weapon. Oh, Zygarde's back. Here I was just trying to get the DLC started, and turns out this is something completely different. No wonder why the main storyline wasn't showing up. I had to go back to Hotel Z to do it. I almost forgot about that. Kind of weird that it's hidden. You think the main storyline would continue on a bit further, but anyway, Zygarde. How curious. I believe it means to beckon you to the tower. That's what I can intuit from my experience working with Zygarde. What it wants with you at that fateful place, I cannot say, though. Oh, here we go. Now we have a new main mission, finally. I don't know why that didn't appear earlier, but okay, looks like we're going back to Wild Zone 20 again. And classic Missandre there. Not saying mean, but it seems like the last time I fought him, he didn't heal my Pokemon, and neither did he now. So yeah, guess we'll heal up and then continue then, because of that. A little annoying. Just get would help if we could just catch this right away, you know. I will say, some of these do take quite a while to hit. Classic game, not letting me catch a Pokemon right away. Okay. Trying to look for the other starters right now. That's our own pet pig that we've seen before. We'll try catching it anyway now. So I assume it just rotates between the different stars, so any of them could appear here. But that also means we'll have to reset this area a lot more than normal. Alright, I think we've waited long enough. Just wanted to get some of the starters. Oh, of course, it wants to battle again. That's why it brought us all the way here, so we could maybe battle it, and maybe let's do it again. Who knows? Oh, this time, he wants to do it as a mega battle. So we do it as a, like, boss battle in the arena. Oh, I see. Okay, well, he's certainly a lot more snarrier than I expected. This isn't even at his full form yet. I imagine this is just its weakest form, which is probably why it's going down so fast. I don't know why I'm worried, by the way. I have healing items. I should make the most of it. Okay, this is pretty well built, so that didn't take too long, but of course, I figured this wouldn't end so early. Yeah, this was just his 50%. He was only using half of his strength, pretty much. Now he's in full form, and now we want to use... Oh, he's now in his 50% form, actually. That was his 25% form. Now he's in his 50% form, so now he should be even more tanky as a result. I think for the most part, now it's in this part, I'm just going to keep using items. It's not a Pokemon game with a fight that kind of requires you to use items. Also, I see now how it works. You can't use items back to back, but if you wait long enough, then you get the ability to use them again. So you pretty much only want to use the ones that are good in battle. And by that, I mean, like... Okay, looks like we're, quickly removing that stuff. Wow, that does a lot of damage. Didn't expect that to immediately put me to red. So that does a lot more damage than expected. We better distract him then, in that case. Attacking as constantly as possible so that those takes the hits instead of me. I'm also retreated, because just like before, we wanna... Ooh, oh, I paused at a good time, actually. You know what? Sure, I'll use a max potion. I normally don't use it this soon, but it works. Oh, perfect. It's stunned again. Our Gyarados is actually really well built for this fight. I feel like it's been carrying us a lot for the Zygarde battle. It doesn't help that trying to pull back your Pokemon, though, does stun you for a bit. So if you wonder why I'm doing that, that's just so that my Pokemon doesn't get hit in impact as well. When in doubt, spam dodges, and it works. Honestly, probably the biggest saving grace is what I just mentioned earlier, that you could literally pull back your Pokemon at whatever. That's what makes this game so different. In the HD version, or whatever, in Pokémon Legends Arceus, you could not pull back your Pokemon once it's in battle, so it slowly but surely learned over time and got really annoying to the point where, more often than not, it would just straight up destroy your Pokemon. That's what made soloing in that game super hard, because you kind of have to be over-grinded for it. But, you know what, it's not honestly that bad. And of course, yeah, now it's gonna last for longer too, because why not? Okay, somehow I didn't get hit by that. Alright, well now we're fully healed, but yeah, we nearly faded there, if you're wondering. When it turns red, that's when you're about to faint. I think we've only actually had that happen once, but that was unexpectedly. And it's only because there was like a lot of Pokemon at once. Alright. Oh. Let me guess, he's still not dead. So that was his 50% form. And now we have his ultimate form. Jeez. He never dies. But we have to start by running then. Once again. Okay, now it has the original legendary theme, which is what I suspected would happen. So yeah, now we're facing the third of the legendary Pokemon. We had this match coming for a while, to be fair, but now it's surreal actually getting to face Zygarde. Okay, now it feels a lot more dangerous. Not to mention he's super tanky with this form, so good thing we have a lot of Heliums, because we're probably going to need every last one of them. What's he doing now? Oh, just creating a Z-burn? Oh. That was really deceptive, too. I didn't even see where that was coming from. Okay, I might just run for a bit. There's not really a good way to know about that. Also, I just realized, me having defense kind of saved me. I assume if you didn't have defense, that move straight up one-shots you. That means we probably would have fainted in one hit if that had actually hit us. Of course, then again, I didn't know there was a safe spot. I thought that we just had to stand back somewhere else and be fine, but yeah. Of course, this is classic blind playthrough stuff. We don't know what's going to happen until it happens. And yes, I pulled out a Pokemon, of course, for that reason. Because if we simply just left him in, that would be bad. So, oh, he is not letting up. And he's smarter yet still, too. He's not going to allow me to just keep freely attacking, I see. He's going to just keep... Oh, he does his other move, too, I see. But it's even more complicated to avoid, I see. I didn't have time to pull him back. I tried, but it didn't work, so I guess we're healing again. That also does mean we can revive him, too, as well. These are what we probably wanted our max revives for, honestly. For Zygarde, I feel like it's much easier once we have them. I'm gonna wait for him, actually. He's probably gonna do his super move soon. I might just wait for him to do that, bait it out, and then maybe do something. Okay, well, now I know what he does. I could probably try to predict where the safe zone might be. Okay, as soon as he breaks out of his ever stun, I'm probably gonna change stuff. Otherwise, we're gonna keep attacking for a bit. Alright, he's stunned. That means the attack's coming soon. Before we get in, let's sneak in an Ice Vein and then pull back early this time. Oh, here he goes. So, if we remember correctly, if this isn't the same, or similar, we want to stand near, like, the edge. Or, I guess a dodge roll works just fine, I see. So just like in the original, we can time a dodge roll, too, if we don't get in the right spot. We were almost there. Just a little bit off to the right, and we would have had it. Yeah, definitely one of the tougher bosses so far. Forget the other bosses, they definitely made Zygarde challenging, that's for sure. You have to be moving a lot, and he also does a lot of damage on top of that. So you keep having to heal your Pokemon, it just gets annoying. Of course, in the end, I did not say this was a no-use item playthrough, because of course that would be really hard to do now, would it? Okay. Healed. We'll run early. I think this will be the other pattern now. Okay, there's a corner spot here, too, where we can be safe, too. So, yeah, that's important. So, if you're wondering why I'm pulling back the Pokemon, yeah, they can get destroyed if you simply have them out at all. But the fact that you can pull back the Pokemon means you can just pull them back and you won't take anything, and that makes it way easier. I just realized this guy's extra nasty. In almost every Rogue Omega battle we've done up to this point, he's exclusive. They've almost exclusively dropped tons of orbs, which helped us get our Mega form faster. He doesn't do that anymore. Instead, we have to slowly build it over time by using moves. So we basically just want to use whatever happens to be fastest. We might actually be able to get him with our Mega now. I guess maybe at some point, because Hydro Bump's so slow already, maybe I should have used Draco Meteor. We did get Draco Meteor recently. Whoa, he's extra fast now. I think it was like here. Okay. Alright, well, we definitely got that right this time. Perfect. Alright, this time we avoided his Superative completely this time. So, note to self, face him, stand to the left edge of that arena. Oh, he's deemed us worthy. Cool. So we get to catch him like we would normally, and now we finally get the legendary that this game is based off of, which is Zygarde. About time. Went almost the entire game without getting you. If we have any more battles, maybe we will start using the legendaries, who knows. Because I feel like we could definitely make work. So, this legendary Pokemon is joining forces with the mightiest trainer in Luminose. The thought of you two combining the power gives me hope for the future of the city. You should have this. It'll allow Zygarde to change his form. Alright. 10%, 50%, and complete form. You can use the Zygarde to freely switch between its 10% and 50% form. If its HP drops to half or less during battle, Zygarde will change into complete form. In this form, all Zygarde and Zygarde cells have gathered, increasing Zygarde's stats significantly. Zygarde can Mega Evolve only when it's in its complete form. When Zygarde becomes Mega Zygarde, its core enforcer move transforms into Neon Light. Alright. That might be useful. When Zygarde used up its strength protecting Pokemon from the light of the ultimate weapon, its parts scattered to far-off places, absorbing the power of those lands and seeking humans who would give it aid. And now I think of it, that Zygarde used when it Mega Evolved, they remind me of Z moves like those used in the Voja region, but perhaps I'm reading too much into it. Now falls to me the Ponder. What should I do with the 3,000 years I must live? Well, isn't there something you want to do? Yeah, there is. To this day, I yearn to create a more beautiful world, and I'll yearn for it forever. I once thought we could achieve that world by fulfilling the material needs of everyone. Now it is not so simple. However says it's good to feed the hungry, but better to teach them how to feed themselves. I had to focus solely on what I believed the world needed, yet I lost sight of how to make it so that the people could truly flourish. Thanks to what you and your Pokemon have done together, I've learned my lesson well. It's an outlandish dream, far beyond my reach, but with 3,000 years' time, maybe I can make it real. Much like AZ wandered far and wide across the world in search of Follette, I shall travel across vast reaches in search of ways to create the world I yearn for. When people manage to meet it, it is a gift. Even living in the same time and place is no guaranteed. The fact that we, and like so many others, met and banded together to make Luminose a better place is something we should treasure. Barring some great change, I doubt we'll meet again, but I will carry these lessons with me. Au revoir, my young friend. Au revoir to you as well. I assume that's French for see you later or goodbye. At least I assume that's French for that. Anyway, it looks like we got some more type stuff done and also got more collection stuff done for our Pokédex, which is good. Alright. So we just went through all of that and then some. We should probably check for any starters that might be here. We'll kind of just catch whoever was here, because we can't really do anything right now while we're waiting for them to... So we kind of just have to catch the ones we see now, because that's the only way more will show up otherwise. So even if we find, like, yeah, like you saw there, a Bulbasaur, which we don't need, by catching it, it leaves room for another one to appear sooner or later. And if you're wondering, no, there is no good way to reset the Pokemon. Instead, they just kind of come back over time instead. So you have to actually slowly but surely move around and catch all the different Pokemon and make sure you check all the significant areas. Only way you can fully complete the Pokédex otherwise. Alright. So, now that that's done, I don't know if there is any more main storyline. So technically we might have actually already done all the main missions, so I think right now there's only one if we want to just finish our setup off. But we still have to grind a little bit, and I'm still kind of in a tricky mood. And by that I mean, like, I straight up don't have much time. So you know what, I am gonna do a grind, but not the same way. And by that I mean, let's go back. Let's sit on this bench. And to skip tonight, because it seems like we're gonna have to do this a lot. I hope you guys don't get too bored, but I found out there is a hidden secret thing where we can only get a certain mission to show up unless we've done a certain amount of missions, or more specifically, it's battle zone setups. At first, though, I do want to go here, though, and catch some of the nighttime Pokemon, of course. That's one thing I wanted to do, but more importantly, we need to start grinding up our rank now. Now that it's infinite, we can do as many battles as we want, and they'll only get tougher as we go along, but I found out one of the side missions actually requires you to do, what, 20-odd something of these missions? So to try and balance it out, we'll do a mix of Wild Zone encounters, as well as also going in and attacking the trainers in the battle zone. So I hope you guys won't get bored, but to be fair, this is Pokemon. You probably would have expected there to be a loop like this at some point, but now we get to actually do it completely, because for fast level ups, this is literally what you want to do. Go into either here or a different area, and then just keep taking them out. And occasionally there's also those big alphas in the middle. If you are fortunate, you might be able to take out a couple of those as well. We'll use that so it does more damage to him, so we can quickly take him out. Got him. Just like that. Our alpha caught. Oh yeah, right. I gotta pay attention. They do start attacking me too. Because they waste so much time attacking me, though, more often than not, they don't really damage my Pokemon too often, I'll say. But yeah, basically, long story short, we're catching all the starters especially. We're trying to catch every other Pokemon we see as well. And then, once we run out of time to catch them, by that I mean we don't have much, I guess we're gonna have to start going into here, because as far as we're aware, we're actually completed the main game mode. But don't worry, we're still not going to be done for a while, because this is where the DLC starts getting introduced. For now, though, I want to keep these Pokemon in just for that, so we can get our stuff up. But pretty soon, we're going to have to start a massive grind at some point. I don't think there's a good way to do this. We're just gonna purposely run into him, because there's not really a good thing we can do otherwise. When they're in, like, the middle like that, it's almost impossible to sneak attack them. So it's better to just run into them, honestly. It'll be just as fast if you did it any other way anyway. Somehow we still caught him with that rock slide. You know, we tried to dodge it. But yeah, long story short, gonna do a lot of Battle Zone, lots of Wild Zone 20 to try and get the last research stuff done. And on top of that, we are also gonna try and do all the research tasks. Obviously, there's not really a great way to do that, so we kind of just have to go through it bit by bit and hope for the best. Alright, here we go. There we go. We don't really care about trying to get the matches fast. It's just that as long as we do battle zones, we'll be fine. They break up a little bit of the time between the grinding, and honestly, they're pretty good anyway. And we can also change our Pokemon as we need to, for depending on what we need to use. But yeah, long story short, it seems like we're actually done with most of the grinding of this game. We may actually be done a lot sooner than I anticipated, but as you can see, I did up difficulty a bit. By that, I meant we are going to be trying to grind all of the side missions and other stuff. And more importantly, I do want to do all the side missions. Unfortunately, that means we actually do have to do this quite a bit. Not gonna lie, Gyarados has kind of become my main, I'll say. With how fast he was already taking out info, I feel like we're like both Mega Evolving at the same time. That was so cool. We do need to land hits with a Mega Evolved Pokemon, so good idea to have that. But yeah, long story short, if you're wondering why I talked about that being weird, well, that's because, straight up, we need these battles. If you don't have them, there's not a good way to battle them instead. And I'm not saying that to be weird, that's straight up the case. To get a side mission unlocked, we have to do a certain amount of battles in here. Not infinite, obviously, but a lot. That being said, because we have to grind up all the Pokemon anyways, we'll probably be in here for a lot longer. Because, honestly, I have a lot of other stuff to do as well. For starters, though, I do want to try and get most of my main team to level 100 first, because some of the endgame content I heard is really tough without level 100. We could obviously also do that for the DLC, so because of that, to mix up monotony, a lot of what we're doing next is probably just going to be doing the DLC, because honestly, it's much funner to do this DLC. Yeah, he is really sneaky, man. Just barely got him in time before he did that from there. Problem with having too slow of a move type is it takes way too long to activate. So you end up losing super fast as a result. Anyway, yeah, that was pretty fast. Alright, looks like he wants to give us some Prime Medals then. Perfect. But yeah, unfortunately, we're going to be spending a lot of time at nighttime this time. I don't really see a reason to be in daytime anymore for that reason. Okay, we're switching now. Each time we switch, that's probably also when we can try going back to the Wild Zone to try again for those starters, because it's random which one appears each time. Okay, well, now I don't need my Mega anymore. So I'm switching back to Excadrill. He's still one of the best. Really? Does that mean we ran out of normal healing items, I see? So apparently you can't auto-heal unless you have weaker items. That's good to know. I wish I had known that sooner, though. Alright, I guess before we finish off, we should let this Amora evolve too. Yeah, the main reason we had Amora is so we can evolve it into Aurorus, so we can then use it to take out this boy's Pokemon that's pretty tricky. We need it to be leveled up a bit more though, because we needed to learn Blizzard in order to safely do this battle. Otherwise, it's just gonna be way too hard. We will also use Ice Beam though. Rock Blast could also work, but I think we want Ice Beam first. A fast takedown could also be nice, I guess, but mainly we want probably this better. For sure though, we're gonna teach it Protect before we forget as well, because we do need Protect for the battle I'm about to speak about. Because annoyingly enough, Protect is actually really good in this game. I say that literally because it is one of the best moves in the game now, because the fact you can time it to block your opponent's attack means you can block pretty much just about anything. It takes a little getting used to, but as long as you wait for them to hit first, you can basically attack right away. The tricky part comes when they start using fast moves. That's when it starts getting really nasty. Okay, well, we're gonna... If we don't have a good move setup to use, we'll just use Rock. Yeah, we had to land hits with Rock moves, so now we need to do that a bit. It spent so much time moving, it didn't even do anything. What, was it trying to use Explosion again? Oh, I just have to knock it out with that, but that's fine. Alright. That was good. It doesn't help when they kind of walk around and spin around, by the way. You kind of have to wait for them to turn. Whew. Alright. Good. Okay, we can super affect both of these Pokemon, so we better do that quickly. Steel type for super affecting is best used against fairy types, in my opinion. I think it also works well on grass as well, though I haven't seen it in a while. Okay, we need plus moves as well. Maybe a plus rock move will work on him. Maybe not against that, though. Didn't seem worth to use a plus move. Maybe we'll make our rock type moves plus moves. That will work probably better. Mainly we'll want to aim for at least 10 wins though in these areas, if possible. Also, I guess that means some of my videos might be longer or shorter. It really depends on what we do in them, honestly. Whoa, hello, dude. Boy, I really did not see you there. Like I said, trainers hide around the sneakiest of corners sometimes, as they might say. Okay, we'll just use Rock Slide again. Okay, that still wasn't enough. Well, we did a little bit of everything, but there's still a little bit more to do. We don't have to necessarily get a certain amount of wins each time. It's just important that we get a certain amount of stuff from it. And by that I mean, ideally I want to get at least 10 wins, ideally, each cycle. That's what typically pays the most money. Jeez, you're going really far out of their way to try and catch us, I see. Alright, well, in that case, we're gonna just run into you face first, then. Because clearly there was nothing we could do to avoid this Hillux. Okay, I am not going to let you cheat here. Yeah, since you froze me, let's just uncheat that, please, and thank you. Alright, now can we, of course he used Explosion. Of course, the one time I try to use a good rock move, he used a good Explosion anyway. Okay, let's try this again. Again! Okay, this person's being a meanie. I get it, alright, you're using Explosion a lot. I just wanted to use rock-type moves, not have you explode over me twice in a row. If you're wondering, I'm trying to use a plus move and use Explosion at the same time to save time, but when that happens before you can even do anything, yeah, there's not a lot you can do. And we don't even have enough for a plus. We'll just use this, then. Okay, well, that still worked. Okay, well, it doesn't really matter which one we use now. Confuse is a lot different, I heard, too. I think it's not quite the same as it used to be, too. Wow, Iron Ninja straight up won. Okay. Yeah, it's safe to say Exodel's pretty well trained, I think. Alrighty, then. Just to prove my point, take out, bring back, and yeah, just like that, confusion is gone. That is how you fix confusion very fast, in a nutshell. Alright, well, as tempting as it is to keep going, we still have a little whiles to go. We need at least 54 in particular, by the way, because that's what gives us Blizzard, so we're gonna still be going finding for a bit. But yeah, looks like a lot of the videos for this now will be probably grinding a bit. But until then, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment, rate, subscribe for some more commentary. And I hope you enjoyed this 100% run, because clearly it's going to take a bit more than I expected. Until then, though, we like if you guys enjoyed. Comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!